Now, the situation right now is all emergency personnel. We've got county, we've got city, we've got Red Cross, TxDOT. Everybody's working together.
From 3398.
A river rising. That's the situation in Reeves County, where days of relentless rain is causing some very serious situations there. The Pecos River, which is normally about 1 foot deep, is now flowing 10 times higher than normal. Parts of the city of Pecos have been evacuated due to high water, and after today's latest round of storms, it's a waiting game on whether or not more evacuations will be needed. Tatum Gwynn begins our team coverage tonight. She is at the Reeves County Emergency Command Center, where emergency personnel continue to keep a close eye on the situation. Tatum?
We're out here in front of the command center here in Pecos, where it just now started to rain. Now, this is the place where all emergency personnel are standing by to see just how much water will come through the Pecos River. Right now, they are prepared for the worst, but hoping for the best.
We're just letting you know, guys, notify you that the water's gone over the riverbanks here.
Right now, what we're trying to do is trying to go and knock on doors and tell them it's going to be a voluntary move from the residents, because I believe this water is going to hit the residents. The flooding of the town, that's the main concern.
As the day goes on, river levels continue to rise.
It's changed a whole bunch. We had nothing, and now we have about 6 to 8 feet of water.
And as the river levels rise, the threat of flooded homes increases. That's why Reeves County Sheriff's Office, along with other Pecos first responders, are going door to door.
Is it coming back? Yeah, it is.
And warning people of what danger lies upstream.
From here?
Yeah, from here.
I thought it was only the north side.
Oh, no, it's right here.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
I'm far enough to cross that pasture?
I don't know, I hope not.
Well, only Mother Nature knows that.
Yeah.
Unless we're going to stay here, unless we have to go, and we're going to head out.
At this time, all areas from the Pecos River up to Highway 285 are under a mandatory evacuation. Anybody living in that area is asked to go to the Pecos High School gym. The Red Cross has set up a shelter there. Be sure to stay with CBS 7 and CBS7.com, as we will have the very latest on this developing situation here in Pecos. Reporting live in Pecos, I'm Tatum Gwynn, CBS 7 News.
Tatum, thanks very much. Continuing our team coverage tonight in Pecos, CBS 7's Deanne Lopez has been at that emergency shelter at Pecos High School, talking with several people who have been forced to evacuate from their homes, including a group of oil field workers. Deanne, what do they have to say about all this?
If it weren't for this emergency shelter, many people, including the group of oil field workers I spoke with, would have nowhere else to stay.
Yesterday it was just a lot of mud just sliding. Today it's more of a wind and mud, so a lot of debris is in the way.
Arciano Pleasant and 3 of his co-workers have been staying at the emergency shelter located inside of the Pecos High School gym since noon of yesterday.
We're in a neighborhood that's right by the river, and that neighborhood doesn't have no gravel, nothing, it just has mud. So it's already just flowing over. You can see from where we stay, the back where there's water at.
The pictures you see here are of the group's man campsite off FM 1216. Pleasant says a good majority of it is now underwater. The men, thankful for Red Cross giving them a place to stay and food to eat, were so close to being stuck at their site.
That's where the Red Cross comes in times of disasters. Sheltering is our bread and butter. We do it all the time, and so for us it's a great opportunity for us to test our skills and really live through this in West Texas.
Pleasant says they were never directly told to evacuate. Instead, their electricity and water were cut off, leaving them to wonder what was going on.
We could have been ignorant to the fact and stayed there and got trapped into it.
The group was told not to go back to their site until Wednesday, and that's if the flooding doesn't get any worse. As of now, the shelter will remain open until tomorrow morning, but Red Cross officials tell us that they're prepared to stay open longer so long as the need is there. In Pecos, Deanne Lopez, CBS 7 News.
The water levels in Pecos may continue to rise for the next few days. So let's head over right now to our weather director, Craig Stewart. He's in the Pinpoint Weather Center with a look at what else is headed toward the Permian Basin. Craig?
Tatum, tell you what, it has been on and off rain for Pecos area, parts north, and even right here in the Permian Basin. I want to show you the Pinpoint 4x4 radar and what we have going on right now. Unfortunately, Pecos getting some more rainfall in the area. They also have a flash flood watch That will be in effect until noon tomorrow afternoon. So you can kind of see the movement, not very fast. Everything moving mainly toward the south. A couple areas I really want to show you and stress that what we have going on. And I'm going to go ahead and put this in motion and let you know about Red Bluff Dam, which is right into this area here. It is totally full. It's spilling over right now out at Red Bluff Dam, and anything that's coming down from Carlsbad is going to the dam, spilling over, and then that just goes downstream, and you can tell what's downstream from there. Show you right now the very latest, and you head downstream, you're headed right for the Pecos area. So again, they're going to be looking at more water coming down the Pecos River, even cresting, it looks like, early into the morning hours. Elsewhere, still got some shower and thunderstorm activity popping up in Jeff Davis County, the mountainous areas. Flash flood warning in that area is going to be going on until 2:15 into the morning. And for us, it looks like just a little bit of rain around parts of the Permian Basin. So we've had a lot of rainfall around the area. And right now, weather specialist Daryl Ward is going to join us. Let us know what caused this rain, and really, how much rain did we see?
Craig, what we saw because of a hurricane, West Texas hurricanes, I know it sounds kind of odd, but Hurricane Odile, what's left of it actually, rolled across southeast New Mexico over towards the Texas Panhandle. Then as it went east, it ran into a ridge of high pressure that was building over that direction, and it's like a bank shot off of a pool table. It bounced off of that ridge of high pressure and back down into our area. Now, how much rain did it bring us? A lot in some areas. Southeast New Mexico, far west Texas, 10 to 12 inches. Just south of Carlsbad, a little bit less, but still a lot of rain up into the Carlsbad area. 5 to 8 inches, you can see, between Monahans and Andrews. 2 to 4 inches, the Odessa Midland area, this part. And one area, that's Gale in Borden County, 14 inches of rain out of that. And this is the reason why there's been so much flooding in Pecos, all the runoff from this high amount of rain going down the Pecos River towards Pecos. So there's been a lot of rain out of that system in some very localized areas, generating that flooding that we have been seeing. Correct?
All right, Daryl, thanks a lot. And as he was telling you, the Midland Odessa area, 2 to 4 inches. I want to show you the Pinpoint 7 iCam time lapse out of Midland, and just look, the heavy rain that came down over the tall city. This was into the afternoon. So a lot of rain is what we've seen over the last couple of days. Rain is still in the forecast. Tatum will tell you about that. We'll have the 7-day forecast. We got a lot more to cover in just a bit.
Craig, thank you very much. If you would like to help those affected by this storm, the Red Cross is accepting donations. To help the Red Cross assist families who are affected by the flooding or any other disaster, you can go to redcross.org and search for the Permian Basin chapter. When donating, select the tab from the drop-down menu that directs your donation to the local chapter. You can also donate by phone. Just call them at 563-2267. Cities and roads are not the only places impacted by the recent flooding. We want you to take a look at this footage taken at an oil rig on Friday. This is a cactus rig located about 5 miles north of the intersection at Highway 285 and 302. That's in Mentone. We're told that everyone on that rig was evacuated, but you can see lots of water and flooding. This is footage of the same site earlier today. You can see most of the water has now drained away, but there is a giant mud puddle, one that will no doubt take quite a bit of time to clean up. We are continuing to keep a close eye on this developing story. We have crews in Pecos monitoring that situation, so keep it right here for any breaking developments. We'll have the latest on CBS 7 Morning News as well as CBS7.com and our Facebook page, so be sure and check in with us for any new developments.
The Reeves County judge signed a declaration of disaster. The form was sent to the governor's office and to the State of Operations Center. The declaration asks for extra resources and manpower in case the flooding situation in Reeves County worsens.
We're doing a request from the governor's office for the declaration, and we're also doing a local disaster declaration for Reeves County.
The declaration also asks for reimbursement of any funding used during this emergency disaster. Parts of the city of Pecos have been evacuated due to high water, and after yesterday's latest round of storms, it's a waiting game on whether or not more evacuations will be needed. Tatum Gwynn joins us this morning to bring you the latest developments in Pecos. Tatum.
Hey, Robert. Good morning. No major developments overnight. I think the biggest thing that people are trying to assess right now is the rain overnight. It has been raining all night. Nothing major, just light steady rain. There is some flooding around town, but that's from the rain that fell overnight. It's not from the river. Emergency personnel are still on standby right now assessing the river levels and to see where to go from there. Now, the major concern from yesterday was the salt cedar debris that was in the river yesterday. It was creating some natural dams and holding up that water and making it overflow and move off ground. And so that's one of the things that emergency personnel are working on trying to fix right now so that they can get the river flowing downstream and not send so much of it over into the land. And that's something that they, I think, will be addressing today. And something else is just waiting on that water. Yesterday there was a big system north of town that dumped tons of water, and as it goes into the Red Bluff overflows and moves down into the Pecos River, which comes through here. So right now we're really just waiting on the water, seeing where to go from there. Just wait and see, prepare for the worst, and hope for the best at this point. We will be here throughout the morning to bring you the very latest on the situation. For now, reporting live in Pecos, I'm Tatum Gwen. Robert, back to you.
CBS 7 News at 6 starts right now.
Now the situation right now is all emergency personnel. We've got county, we've got city, we've got Red Cross, TxDOT. Everybody's working together.
From 3398, the river is starting to rise.
Well, the rain may have let up a little bit, but dangerous floodwaters continue to cause major problems in Pecos.
Right now, 3 oil field workers are stranded at their work site. In fact, this is aerial video taken just hours ago of the floodwater around Pecos. Members of the Midland Homeland Security Investigation Team are assisting in those rescue efforts of the 3 men who are stranded. This is just the latest in a string of problems which have been caused by floodwaters, which are threatening to send the Pecos River over its banks.
First responders from all over the state are making their way to Pecos to prepare for more flooding. The Red Bluff Lake is now full, meaning any additional water will make its way toward Pecos.
CBS 7's Tatum Gwynn spoke with crews from Midland and Odessa in Pecos today. Tatum, what is their role in all of this?
The Permian Basin Incident Management Team is here in town, along with the DPS Command Center. It's that big trailer in the back that actually just got here. They just opened up traffic again for them to go through. Anyway, all of these agencies are here to help assist Pecos in any way that they can.
Pouring into the Pecos River, bringing trouble downstream towards Pecos.
That's what we're just kind of having to do, is just wait in a see mode right now. We are expecting a second wave of this. The water that we're expecting today when it crests is the water that started like on Friday.
A major concern Monday is all of the debris damming up at the bridges.
There is so much of it. It came down so fast with the water that came down the river. There isn't any way to get equipment in there at this time.
That's why the Permian Basin Incident Management Team was called in.
People from the City of Midland Fire, from Odessa Fire and Rescue, and Midland County, requested from the state to come in and help the city of Pecos organize their response for the flooding.
Hickman says his team will help provide resources and equipment for the Pecos first responders to prepare for what lies upstream.
Other agencies on hand, again, are DPS, Border Patrol, Homeland Security is on the way. TxDOT is also here helping out. Right now, all emergency personnel can really do is just wait, preparing for the worst, but hoping for the best. Reporting live in Pecos, I'm Tatum Gwynn, CBS 7 News.
Tatum, thanks very much. As people in Pecos deal with this heavy flooding, they are now preparing for even more rain.
Weather Director Craig Stewart joins us now. He is in the Pinpoint Weather Center, been keeping an eye on all of these storms over the weekend. Craig, what do we have in store for tonight?
Well, Jay, Tatum, I'll let you know, at least for our area, we're not going to be seeing a whole lot of rain. There's a slight chance for showers. Taking a look toward the Pecos area, they're going to be seeing some more rain around the area. In fact, already seeing it north of Pecos, right around Carlsbad. They still have a flash flood warning in effect. Reeves County, Culberson County, this is going to be going on until 8 o'clock this evening. Flash flood watch in effect for the area through Tuesday morning. And you can see what we're looking at right here, which is the bad news, which is right over the Pecos River, just south of Carlsbad. And they're getting heavy rain. Again, movement very, very slow. So all of this is headed down toward the Orla area, which is the Red Bluff Reservoir. And I'm going to circle it to show you exactly where we're looking at, because this right on the Pecos River. From there, it is heading downstream and it heads right toward Pecos with all this water coming on down. So they're going to be seeing some more heavy water flow coming down the river sometime in the next at least 24 hours or so. Again, flash flood warning in effect for Reeves County, for parts of Culberson County. We have that flash flood watch up until Tuesday morning. Flash flood warning for those two counties are going to be going on until 8 o'clock. A lot of rain coming down the mountainous areas. We'll let you know if we can expect any of that here in just a little bit.
At this hour, all local, state, and federal agencies that are in town are on standby, ready and waiting for evacuations. We did get information earlier this evening from Mayor Vanetta Seals, who says that the water that is making its way to Pecos will crest at this time at midday tomorrow, and another round is on its way Thursday. Now here's what's alarming about the situation. We don't know exactly how bad the flooding could be until it actually gets here. Debris in the river is sending water out onto the banks, onto county roads, and out into the county. That's why both state and federal agencies are in town or on their way to help out in any way that they can.
This is, again, where with state and federal agencies coming in, it does mean more help and assistance that is coming our way, more areas of expertise than what we have here on the local level. So we will be relying on them to kind of give us some ideas what is out there that is available to help us in this area.
We know that Homeland Security will be here tomorrow setting up a command operations center. DPS is also sending in additional resources, including 2 helicopters and 2 boats in the event of any evacuations or rescues. Again, since they don't know how serious the situation could be, Mayor Seals says they want all the help they can get just in case. Again, she says that they are just preparing for the worst, but hoping for the best. Be sure to keep it here on CBS 7 for the very latest on the situation here in Pecos. Reporting live in Pecos, I'm Tatum Gwynn, CBS 7 News. Now the situation right now is all emergency personnel. We've got county, we've got city, we've got Red Cross, TxDOT. Everybody's working together.
From 3398. The river is starting to rise.
Nearly 100 emergency management personnel, including National Guard soldiers, are currently helping the people of Pecos prepare for even more flooding. Today's crest is not expected to be the biggest. According to the National Weather Service, a second crest later this week may actually be even bigger. As of now, there are no mandatory evacuations, but as the river levels rise, the city warns people to be ready to evacuate. My partner Jay Hendricks has been surveying the damage in the area all day long today. He begins our team coverage from the Barstow Bridge near the Ward County line tonight with the very latest on the dire situation near the Pecos River. Jay?
Tatum, there doesn't seem to be the sense of urgency that we felt earlier today when we arrived here in Pecos. Many weren't sure when this latest flow of water would come through and also how it would affect this particular area. We are right here on the Business 20 Bridge. This is right on the Reeves County, Ward County line. And earlier when the water first came through here, it began going toward Pecos, which is right behind the photographer here. But let me show you. As you see, the flow of the water is not as fast as it was. They didn't know if it was going to come through much heavier or at a faster pace, but seems to be slowing down, which is some good news. And they also think that a lot of this debris that you see, a lot of this cedar, and you can see a lot of this piled up here, a lot of that cedar is continuing to stack up here, and they just went out aerially, they went up in the air to look around, and what they see is that most of this debris is now stacked here, and as you can see, the flow is continuing on to the west, and that's what they want to do. They talked about moving this cedar tonight and getting it out of the way, but they think it may keep it where it is if they keep this in place if the water flow were to continue. Again, they're looking at possibly Thursday or Friday for the next flow from New Mexico. Then they want to make sure that it continues to flow to the west and does not go back toward the town of Pecos, which of course is back this way where the water first went on the first day. So something they want to keep an eye on. They'll continue to work throughout the night. We'll of course have more on this coming up tonight at 10 o'clock. We'll be live here from here in Pecos as they continue to look at the situation and determine how to keep that water from going into the city. Reporting in Reeves County, I'm Jay Hendricks. Tatum, back to you.
Jay, thank you very much. The Red Cross is sheltering evacuees from the Pecos area at the Pecos High School Gymnasium. Officials with the Red Cross say they're prepared to keep the shelter open as long as they are needed. They also say that the West Texas Food Bank will be at the shelter tonight with some food. Volunteers will be feeding emergency personnel tomorrow in the high school parking lot. If you would like to help those affected by this storm, the Red Cross is accepting donations. To help assist families affected by this flooding, you can go to redcross.org and then search for the Permian Basin chapter. You can also donate over the phone. Just call the number you see on your screen. Meanwhile, according to the Texas Department of Transportation, Business 20 remains closed from just east of the Pecos River to the merger with Interstate 20. That's because of dangerously high water levels. You can see the affected area in the blue shaded line. The closure is expected to last until tomorrow. Keep it right here on CBS 7 News for the latest updates on any road closures as they become available. As river levels continue to rise, the city of Pecos isn't taking any chances. Today, crews worked to fill thousands of sandbags for people to come and pick up, while TxDOT worked to create a diversion for the river water. CBS 7's Tatum Gwynn has the latest. Tatum?
Crews are racing the clock to fill sandbags and create a diversion for the river water. It's all to prepare for the threat of more flooding. Today, people living near the river are taking precautions.
Just the rainwater. Just the rainwater filled up my front yard already. I'm around my house, right there by the front, by my door, just so I don't get inside.
While nearby neighbors prepare for the worst, TxDOT crews spent the day taking salt cedar debris and creating a dike to divert the river water away from town. City officials say with a dike in place, they hope today's crest will send all river water towards Ward County. But in case that doesn't work, Mark says he has a backup plan.
We've got a place to stay, so just in case.
As emergency personnel and the people of Pecos wait for the crest, they say all they can do is hope for the best. In Pecos, Tatum Gwynn, CBS 7 News.
Even though we're not seeing as much rain, that we could still see flooding for several days. Our chief meteorologist, Greg Morgan, is upstream along the Pecos River. Greg, what are you seeing from your vantage point downstream?
Well, Tatum, right now I'm actually looking out over the Pecos River, and it's scary and majestic all at the same time. Just beyond the river from my vantage point, you can see neighborhoods into the northern portions of the city of Pecos. Now, from where I'm standing, I've been here since about 1:30 this afternoon. The river itself has actually dropped a couple of inches over the last 30 minutes or so. But we've also seen an increase in debris flowing downstream, and the gauges upstream show an increased flow going through them. So I do believe there is more water. In fact, we're sitting now over 20 feet of water at the Orla station to the north of Pecos and north of my location. I've seen a lot of helicopter traffic, DPS helicopters flying overhead, flying the length of the river, looking for debris jams and things like that. So we do believe there's more water upstream and that the crest has not yet occurred. So we are going to continue monitoring the situation. So don't, even though the river may be seen to drop in the near term, I believe there's more water on the way. Be sure and watch out for it. We'll continue to be right here, keeping an eye on it for you all evening long.
Greg, thank you very much. While the flooding around the city of Pecos continues to threaten homes and businesses, it has already had an impact on oil and gas drilling that has now hit a standstill with many rigs submerged in flooded waters. CBS 7's Sarah Strackhouse joins us now with how much companies have lost and continue to lose as the Pecos River makes a dent in production. Sarah?
Tatum, oil companies with assets in the area have been contracting private plane companies to get aerial footage of rig sites in order to see exactly how much damage has been done to their rigs by this week's rain. Now, plane company representatives have told us that they've had 10 to 15 flights over the past couple of days to see how much of their equipment was ruined. Reeves County, one of the hardest hit areas in the Permian Basin, is home to many of the industry's oil rigs, and it's now a cost that's become a problem.
Hundreds of thousands of dollars if this equipment is actually lost.
Oil and gas expert Morris Burns says it's the expense of doing business and can be thousands of dollars for these companies just to wait each day.
It's so rare that it's not anything that you plan for. It's a very expensive thing. If they're sitting there for a week or 10 days, it's going to cost a lot of money.
But it reaches more than just the cost for the company drilling on the rig.
It slows everything down. The rig has to come to a stop. You can't get equipment in and out. You can't get, crews in and out, and so it holds everything up.
And the bounce back isn't as easy as one would hope, even if the company has insurance.
These things have to be custom built. Some of these trucks that have special equipment on them, you have to buy the truck and then you put all your equipment on it, and so it's not only an expense, it's a time situation.
Now, I spoke earlier to CBS 7's weather director, Craig Stewart. He said it could be days, if not weeks, before these rig sites are dry, which means more time these companies will have to swallow those costs, and companies will have to wait to calculate what has been lost so far. For now, live in the newsroom, Sarah Strackhouse, CBS 7 News.
Sarah, thank you. And remember, the coverage of our dangerous flooding situation does not stop here. We will continue to bring you updates throughout the day. And if the situation gets any worse, we will break into your regularly scheduled programming. You can also get breaking news and any new developments from our Facebook page and CBS7.com. For alerts, download our app from iTunes or Google Play.
This is CBS 7 News at 10. Your eye on West Texas.
Now the situation right now is all emergency personnel. We've got county, we've got city, we've got Red Cross, TxDOT. Everybody's working together.
From 3398, the river is starting to rise.
The first wave of water has crested in Pecos without any major flooding or evacuations. Now, all eyes are on Thursday. That's when the next round of water is expected to hit Pecos. CBS 7's Tatum Gwynn reports state and federal agencies are now in Pecos preparing for the worst. Homeland Security and National Guard troops also arrived in Pecos today. Their role is to perform rescues and assist in any way they can. Tatum?
Help out in any way that they can. Everyone in Pecos was prepared for the unexpected Tuesday.
We're ready to respond and assist in the evacuations of residents.
Homeland Security set up a command post near the emergency shelter, while crews filled sandbags for people to pick up, and TxDOT worked to set up a dike to divert river water away from town.
Once we restrict the debris, the flow of the river increases, which helps everybody to keep the water moving.
Police Chief Clay McKinney says the additional support has been a lifesaver.
It's just been phenomenal. We've got federal, state, local. It's just been great. Community support's been great.
Even though today was a good day, they're bracing themselves for what else lies upstream.
We feel better. We know we had sunshine today. Everybody's spirits were a little uplifted, but we're still watching it.
Reporting in Pecos, Tatum Gwynn, CBS 7 News.
Many residents in Pecos were anticipating water from the Pecos River to come through tonight, but fortunately things are much quieter in that area, at least for now. Fortunately, it seems as if the work that the city has done to stop the flooding is working. My partner Jay Hendricks is in Reeves County, where city officials have just given him an update. Jay?
Tatum, one of the big updates from here in Pecos, as we're right in front of the command center, this is where all the agencies get together, is that things are much quieter. Of course, the concern today was that water coming down from New Mexico could cause some problems here in Pecos. The good news is things held up. They are building as you saw earlier, a little bit of a makeshift area to keep the water from going into Pecos, and now diverting that to the west, and certainly that's something they hope will continue. Of course, the next time to watch will be Thursday, and that's where folks here are kind of on edge, waiting to see what happens then before reevaluating what's going to happen. Now, tonight there was a meeting held with city officials and all those involved. We talked with Mayor Vanetta Seals afterwards about the latest update.
Texas Task Force 1, which is Urban Search and Rescue, it's about a 20-man team, has arrived on the scene, as well as about 16 members of the National Guard. So again, more resources are coming into us, and we are just really appreciative of all the agencies that are here.
Gary, the West Texas Food Bank also delivering food tonight. They're going to feed over 200 first responders and residents thanks to donations from Concho Resources and HEB. That's all we have tonight from here in Reeves County. We'll, of course, continue to follow the developing story here in Pecos. Reporting in Reeves County, I'm Jay Hendricks. Tatum?
Jay, thank you. Turning to weather, the good news is we haven't seen any heavy rains today that have hit that area over the past several days. So let's check in right now with our weather director, Craig Stewart, to find out the latest conditions and what we can expect for tomorrow. Craig?
Tatum, tell you what, it's been mostly cloudy skies throughout the day. Like you said, there hasn't been really any rain around all of West Texas. I want to show you what we have on the Pinpoint 4x4 radar because we still have those flood warnings in effect. Again, that is for Reeves County, it is Loving County and Ward County, and that's all along the Pecos River. That's going till 3 in the morning. Now the flood warning for Eddy County, that's going on until 2:42 tomorrow afternoon. So kind of keep that in mind that we still have flooding definitely is going to be possible around the area. Again, taking a look at our hazardous weather outlook for your Wednesday, showers and thunderstorms Not a great chance, but there is a chance, and that will be possible. Speaking about the upper Trans-Pecos, that is where the Pecos River is. That's where it could be a lot of problems, and weather specialist Daryl Ward is standing by to give us a little bit more information. Daryl?
Thank you. One of the things that's been going on here that we have been seeing with all the rainfall and the flooding is the fact that not the whole river is flooding all at once. Plus, there's a little-known lake called Red Bluff. Now, Red Bluff Lake has gotten so full that there is literally 67,000 gallons per second. That's 9,000 cubic feet of water spilling out of that lake at the moment because the lake is full. There's no place for it to go. That water is flowing down the Pecos River. Plus, what you tend to get is about a 2-day segment as it goes down the river. So at the moment, you've got the flooding up around Pecos, and in that area, as I move out of the way for you so you can see it, and then that water moves down the river in waves, and over about a 2-day period, you see it shift its distance as it goes down. For example, about a 2-day segment traveling down through this direction and then on further down the river, and what you're going to see is that's the way it works, and that humongous amount, it's an official weather word, humongous amount of water that is coming out of Red Bluff still from the runoff up to the north is working its way down the river, and at the moment Pecos is in trouble with the flooding situation, but later you can see the river rising as you get further on down the river, again down for example around Imperial, Girvan, that area, as it works its way on down. So if it's not flooding right now, it could be rising in those areas later on. So that is something to be aware of because there's still a huge amount of water working its way down the system.
Now is all emergency personnel. We've got county, we've got city, we've got Red Cross, TxDOT. Everybody's working together.
From 3398.
Good afternoon. Thanks for joining us. It's 4 o'clock. We continue our coverage of the Pecos Rising. Despite river levels rising, Pecos Mayor Vanetta Seals believes the worst of the flooding crisis may be over. CBS 7's Tatum Gwynn has been in Pecos for it all. Tatum, what can you tell us at this time?
Robert, we have good news out of Reeves County today. The water is starting to recede out here in the county. I want to show you just how much the water is receding. Where I'm standing right here was underwater this time yesterday. As you can see, the Pecos River is still pretty high. This is the highest it has been in years. Now, the reason why the water is starting to go down is because crews from Union Pacific and TxDOT have been taking debris like what you see right there, and they are putting it down at the Barstow Bridge up the river up ahead. And they have been diverting all of that water away from town, and it's actually been working. It's moving its way towards Ward County, which is just to the east of us. Now, they will be continuing to monitor the river levels. We do expect another crest late tomorrow night into early Friday morning. So we will be keeping a close eye on that. Good news, no more evacuations. But again, that could change as the river levels continue to rise. For now, reporting live in Reeves County, I'm Tatum Gwynn, CBS 7 News. Today is the day that the city of Pecos has been waiting for all week. We can now report any danger of flooding is now over. Everyone is all smiles in Pecos today. They can finally say there is no longer a danger of flooding.
We are feeling very relieved today, and we are all taking a nice deep breath and being able to exhale and feel good about it. We think it's just going to keep flowing at the level it is right now, so we do not anticipate any more flooding coming into Pecos.
Local crews have been hard at work since the crisis began Saturday.
The water's gone over the riverbanks here. Just letting you notify you guys that keep an eye on it.
State and federal agencies also stepped in to help monitor the situation.
You always plan for the worst when you are hearing all these reports coming in because you don't want to be caught off guard.
TxDOT and Union Pacific acted fast to build berms and stack river debris to divert all water away from town and towards Ward County. Mayor Seals says the help from outside agencies really helped save Pecos from disaster.
We really think we have averted a very big possible situation with a lot of possible damage to the community, but fortunately everything has turned out really well. And I think we did plan for the worst case scenario, and fortunately for us, it did not happen.
All agencies that were in town helping out are starting to scale back and head home. They expect all of them to be gone by tomorrow. Reporting in Pecos, Tatum Gwynn, CBS 7 News.